Now moving on to our final speaker for this segment is the president of Ortigas and Company. Put your hands together for Mr. Jaime E. Ysmael. The president of Ortigas and Company.
Awesome morning, JFinex. Morning, huh? That's where I come from. That's usually our greeting for the day, regardless of the time of the day, because we believe that every day is a brighter day for the company. So awesome morning, JFinex.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank Finex for inviting me to be one of the speakers on a topic that is close to my heart. Just like, the other CFOs are friends of mine. Jeff and I actually share a common background. We also come from humble beginnings. We both went to University of the East, Manila, for our accountancy degree. And we both went to SGB and started our careers there. And after SGB, we went our separate ways and eventually landed in real estate companies, effectively. And up to now, we are still friends. In fact, we are now partners. In that Ortigas and Company is now a joint venture between Ayala Land, my employer, and SM Prime. So we share a lot of experiences together, and today I will share with you my personal journey, and at the same time, give you some inputs on how the profession and the function is evolving. A little bit on the, not so technical, but the trends that we're seeing to guide you as you pursue your career in finance. So let me start by sharing with you some thoughts about the journey of a CFO. And let me start by saying that your CFO journey starts today. First and foremost, you have a choice to make. And as business students and young professionals, the decision on whether to pursue a finance or non-finance career path rests in your hands. Upon making the decision to push through with a career in finance, once again, you'll be asking yourself, which finance profession should you specialize in? After spending a couple of years in learning the ins and outs of finance, you need to make the choice on whether you will take on the CFO path. Like you, I needed to make a decision as to whether I would take up finance or engage in other professions like becoming a lawyer, a doctor, a professor, or a journalist. I decided then to study accountancy and pursue a career in finance. After graduating and passing the board exams, once again, I needed to choose which among the finance disciplines I should pursue. Investment banking, treasury, or accounting, to name a few. And upon weighing my options, I decided to start building my future in public accounting. I believe then, as I do now, that it is important to choose the job that will give one the right work experience and exposure that will further open doors towards higher and brighter career opportunities in the future. Public accounting, I believe, gives you the lens by which to see and learn the various facets of running a company in various industries, which is a critical skill as you build your career in business. Other disciplines, however, will also get you there, depending on how you manage your career towards building the capabilities required of a CFO. I started my career by joining SGB, as I mentioned earlier, and while pursuing graduate studies in business administration and international studies in the US, I did an internship with a company based in the Dominican Republic. Upon returning to the Philippines, I continued my stint with SGB and also had the privilege to work for a year with Arthur Anderson in Baltimore, Maryland. After which, I decided to join the strategic planning group of Ayala Corporation, and later on got assigned to Ayala Land's controllership group. In Ayala Land, I immersed myself in the real estate industry, initially by getting involved in the traditional areas of finance, like managing the company's accounting, financial planning and analysis, tax and audit functions. After several years, my job scope broadened to include specialty and strategic finance functions like investor relations, treasury, supply chain, risk management, and information technology. These assignments or job scope prepared me to assume my eventual role as the Group CFO of Ayala Land Group of Companies. Being a C-level executive, I partnered with the CEO in crafting the group's vision, mission, culture, and strategic directions, and was a key player in implementing strategic initiatives, including major transformation programs. Then came along a break in my career where I was given the opportunity to run a company myself after being seconded by Ayala Land to Ortigas Co as its president and CEO. Hence, making the right choice is critical in one's journey towards becoming a CFO. But beyond choice, it is also equally important to adopt the mindset of continuous learning, which leads me to my second point. Along the CFO journey, one has to focus on learning. Today, dramatic changes and massive shifts in business and technology trends are happening. And if one would not adopt and learn, he will be left behind. The future of the finance function continues to evolve and is subject to these rapid changes. It has become such a cliche to say that the only constant we have in this world is change. But this is so true. And right now, it is not just about the change, but the pace of change happening around us. For we are now living in a VUCA world. The concept of VUCA actually originated from the military, which ironically captures the business environment, or quote-unquote, the battlefield we now face, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Thriving in a VUCA world requires continuous learning and agility, having a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Another area which is disrupting the finance function is digital technology. According to McKinsey & Company, there are 4 areas of technology that show the most promise for use in finance. Number 1, automation and robotics to improve processes in finance. Number 2, data visualization to give end users access to real-time financial information and improve operational performance. Third, advanced analytics for finance functions to accelerate the decision support. And lastly, advanced analytics for overall business operations to uncover hidden growth opportunities. Companies are now currently looking at how they can readily implement these technologies in order to create more value for the company. Looking ahead and to set things in perspective, let us watch a video from PricewaterhouseCoopers on the future of finance. CFOs face more challenges, but at the same time, new opportunities to create value for their respective organizations. However, they have to embrace change and transform themselves to cope with increased expectations and assume expanded roles. In a survey conducted by McKinsey & Company, CFOs no longer just perform the traditional CFO functions, which include accounting, controlling, budgeting, planning, and analysis. Instead, for CFOs to deliver value as their duties evolve, the results show that CFOs are now spending more time in non-finance roles. The top 5 of which are as follows: strategic leadership, organizational transformation, performance management, capital allocation, and big data and analytics. The CFO's contribution is now broader, from developing to enabling to executing strategy, as indicated in this slide from Ernst & Young. Their role is expanded from the traditional financial functions to strategic and market-facing responsibilities. The CFO should also balance the responsibilities of stewardship with those of business relations or partnership. While CFOs are still expected to ensure conformance as a reporter of value and a preserver of value, which represents their traditional roles, they are increasingly expected to drive performance as an enabler of value and a creator of value, as shown by this diagram from the International Federation of Accountants. As a result of all these transformations, the modern CFO now wears multiple faces or personalities within an organization. First and foremost, the CFO has effectively become a strategist, as a critical partner and sounding board with the CEO, the board of directors, and the different business unit heads. Second, the CFO should also be an entrepreneur, constantly seeking opportunities for value creation within the organization. The modern CFO should carry an entrepreneurial mindset and find ways of helping analyze trends and take advantage of market opportunities. Third, the CFO is also a steward and should effectively act as the conscience within the organization. The CFO is expected to be the chief moral compass of the company, and the investing public relies on him to project confidence and honesty with respect to all financial and accounting issues. Fourth, the CFO has to adopt the mentality of a line manager. This means that the traditional of the finance group as being support is fading, and financial managers have to start working or thinking like front office managers. Similar to being an entrepreneur, the focus shifts from merely looking at cost containment by way of boosting overall profitability to proactively finding ways to help the business grow. And fifth, the CFO needs to be the voice of the company, a role that is usually shared with the CEO. As a corporate spokesman, the CFO becomes an ambassador to shareholders, the investment community, and the business media, and is responsible not just for explaining the quarterly earnings results, but also the key strategic directions and initiatives of the company. And finally, the CFO has also become the CEO's main implementer for many new initiatives, and as such plays the transformative role of the change agent in leading business transformation initiatives across key areas within the company. As long as the CFOs keep on improving themselves and evolving in sync with the changing environment, they can be assured that different opportunities await to those who persevere. One can be the best CFO, a prime mover in adapting to changes and driving company performance. Another option is to be an advocate of the profession, working with professional associations and regulatory bodies in promoting and improving the profession. CFOs can also shift to operations and be the COO, where they can apply their strategic experience in directly handling operations. Becoming their own boss is also an opportunity. CFOs can be a consultant or entrepreneur, where they can utilize all their skills and experience in running their own business. Or become the top guy, the CEO, given the vast experience they have in working hand in hand with the CEO in the operating units in managing the company and in developing and implementing strategic directions. According to the Times Group, CFOs can make good CEOs since they can handle money like no one else. They have a 360-degree view and strategic understanding of the business. They have a strong understanding of boards and investors, and have a strong acumen in risk management, among others. Hence, CFOs are no longer just involved in finance, but wear multiple hats in the organization. The CFO role is indeed changing. The super CFOs are now effectively CEOs in disguise. I have shared with you this afternoon the journey of a CFO, which I experienced firsthand in the context of what's happening in this rapidly changing environment and its effect on the evolution of the role and increasing expectations of the profession. While change and the challenges it brings with it will always be a constant, I believe the role will just keep on evolving, hence the need to always embrace change and transform. The unique role of the modern CFO also brings about a myriad of opportunities and career options for growth and development. For you, as business students and future leaders, your CFO journey starts today. You have a choice to make, whether to pursue finance or not, and which path in finance you should take. Whatever choice you make, you need to focus on learning, for we all live in a VUCA world characterized by rapid changes, which necessitate constantly retooling ourselves so that we can be more effective in our roles. And given the positive business environment and the technological changes happening in a globalized environment, opportunities await all of us who persevere. That ends my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jaime Ysmael, the President of Ortigas Company. Turning it over now to Micah for a quick Q&A. Micah?
Hi, sir, and hi, Vic. So I have a student here from Lorma College. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Irene Orpilla from Lorma College, San Fernando City, La Union. My question is, how do you deal with the hard decisions that is needed to be made in your company?
Hard decisions will always come your way as a CFO and as an executive. To me, I basically analyze the problem, look at the various, circumstances by which the problem has arisen, and then talk to people and get inputs to the extent possible before making that hard decision. But that's really what the situation calls for. I mean, it's a daily occurrence pretty much for our roles as CFOs and CEOs. So you just have to make sure that you get all the inputs available to you, understand what the problem is so that you can formulate the right decision, and it's always best to consult experts and your team before making the decision. But sometimes you have to make it on your own, and that requires basically drawing from your experience as an executive through years of dealing with different problems of various complexities. So, I mean, it's something that we face every day, so we just have to be prepared to actually make those decisions, no matter how hard they are. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you so much, Micah. Thank you so much, Sir Jaime. Now calling on, inviting once again back on stage, Ms. Dara, Sir Benny, Ms. Maribit, to hand Mr. Jaime Ysmael a token of appreciation. Once again, Mr. Jaime Ysmael, the President of Ortigas and Company.